Oh, you fuckers caught me red-handed. Today's show brought to you by Yingling. Fuck that corporate shit. Try the local brew. Yingling, since 1829. Fuck advertisers. Who needs this shit? My name is John, and I live in my mother's basement, and Regina, the Nature Girl 30, has been mad at me because, unlike every other video I normally make, I have not been doing my epic introductions. So, just to appease her today, for one time and one time only, and maybe for the rest of the time, I don't give a shit, I am going to do my epic intro. So let's pretend like none of this happened and the past minute of your lives is rewound. Live from my mother's basement, it's Johnny. I actually have a very special topic today. Normally, you know, we get on here, we review just about anything or come up with creative ideas. I've been trying to plug my brain for different things that I have yet to do on this channel, and one thing that I have yet to do is release a list of least favorite wrestlers so far. Now, this isn't just going to be like current stars, and it's not going to be just people from the past. It's going to be kind of like a healthy balance of in between. So maybe you'll see a trend, maybe you won't, but this is just, it's going to be a list of 10. I thought about this a little bit before. I did actually write it down because it was confusing me at first. But here we go. This is me with as minimal amount of notes as possible. Most of this was just me off the cuff. So here we go. And the list goes 1 to 10, not 10 to 1, because that's how I think, and I think that's how most of us think when we make a list. We don't number down 10 to 1. Just say it out there, guys. Like, it's not a countdown, it's a fucking list. Least favorite wrestlers, in no particular order. Here's my number 1. First one was Nails. Anybody remember Nails? Orange jumpsuit? Yeah? This guy sucked. When somebody can legit make me not want to watch The Big Boss Man, you know it's bad. Because I loved The Big Boss Man growing up. When this character debuted, I mean, think about it now, it's like, this is around the time when WWF was getting a little bit screwy, and this is when I was really getting into WCW, and it was probably for a really good reason. Nails was terrible. Next. We're going to move on to number 2. And number 2 is a guy that is known as the Mountie. And he's also known as the person that never managed to interest me at all. You say, John, he was totally like an Intercontinental Champion, and he had Jimmy Hart as his manager, and I still don't care. You know, maybe I just wasn't the right age, maybe, you know, it kind of soured me for the rest of my years as a fan, but, you know, I went back, I tried to, like, study the match, you know, from an old pay-per-view, and just kind of watch from there, see what he did. The whole gimmick was that he used a stun gun to win, and he dressed up like a fucking Canadian mounted officer. Who gives a shit? Like, I understand the concept of cheap heat, but like this guy, to me, it was almost like it was the predecessor to X-Pac heat, you know? Like, he just stunk the joint up. Truly, it was that bad to me. I don't know what you guys are going to think about this, but so far, if you like my 2 picks, please do me a favor and thumbs the video up. Number 3, this is going to be a 2-fold, so you get a bonus here. This is actually a tag team. Here's 2 guys, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers. You know, even back in 1997, you know, like heavy metal and like hardcore punk and mosh pits, all that shit, you know, super duper exciting, you know, because for a high schooler like me, yes, I was, you know, in the 9th grade at that point. You know, these 2 fucking clowns, ugh, I could never get behind these guys. Ask my old friend Dan. You know, I see videos of these idiots now. They're out there on YouTube. They're calling out tag teams nowadays that are actually, you know, trying to get over, and it's like, fuck me, dude. I'd rather watch the Nasty Boys at 50 or 55 or however the fuck old they are. You know, they should be retired. I'd rather watch them. You know, the Mosh and Thrasher. These two guys would, like, you know, bounce off the ropes and hit each other in the middle of the ring and dance around like, and their music was terrible, and I don't know, they had all the charisma of like two guys that was wearing fish bowls over their heads to me. Like, that's the best you could come up with. That was the gimmick. You know, no wonder the WWE's tag division went downhill. You know, I just thank God that they had people like the New Age Outlaws and, you know, the Hart Foundation and like other people that I could fucking like give a shit about back then, because the Headbangers, really? Ugh. Thank God Edge and Christian were around for a little while, man, because that was painful. Number 4. Who could ever forget Jeff Jarrett? I could. You know, and the reason behind that is, you know, besides him laying down for Hogan in Hogan's last night with WCW there at that pay-per-view, yeah, I can't remember a damn thing this guy's ever done in the business that has had a lasting impression. You know, he wasted more money on guitars, you know, breaking them over people's heads than he ever drew, getting people to come into an arena. And I don't give a shit who you put him against. You know, nobody wanted to watch him. The strut, the little good from Ric Flair, and his in-ring style was only as good as, you know, whoever the fuck he was working in the ring with. You know, which usually had to be a big name to compensate for the fact that nobody gave a fuck, and it just never worked. So, you know, not only that, but shit, I remember trying to watch him in the 90s, like, he bounced around between companies so much you would have thought he was a fucking beach ball, just the way it seemed like wherever fucking Vince Russo was, he was too, because they were like fucking butt buddies. And, you know, the whole TNA thing just, oh god, last couple of years, fuck me sideways with a spoon, dude. Like, this is terrible. You know that promo that he did? He did a shoot on Vince McMahon when he went back to WWF. I think it was about like fucking 90... Was it 98, 97? Something about like Vince needed him and he was a big star and Bischoff didn't give him a chance and all this stuff. It was fucking awful. Nobody believed it. Jeff Jarrett's a fucking joke. Period. Anybody that's ever been in the ring with him knows it. Any real wrestling fan will tell you, like, okay, maybe he's kind of technically sound in the ring, but that son of a bitch should have never been elevated higher than, like, the European Championship. I swear to God. He should be an undercard performer at best, just because his daddy owned the territory thought he was hot shit. But this isn't a Jeff Jarrett video, and moving on. I spent more time on him than he fucking deserves. Number 5. And before I get to number 5, I just want to tell you a quick story. You know, the older I get, you know, the more I notice that things kind of seem to stay the same. And what I mean by that is, you know, I've always had a certain affinity for, like, bad guys in wrestling. You know, I'm sure we all like the heels. Heels are cool. It was always cool to me, you know, the way a heel could just walk down to the ring, arrogant, like a Ric Flair, the way they owned the place. Took the show hostage, ran it, you know, I'm the man, I'm cool, I'm Mr. the Hour, you know, whatever you want to call it, like, I'm Mr. Monday Night, etc. Don't you fucking miss those days? Those are the fucking days, right? NWO, hostile takeovers, before them you had the Four Horsemen, fucking Rock was kicking ass, Undertaker would rule the roost, just whatever, right? Powerful, unstoppable heels, nobody can fucking touch you, right? And then there's the heels that suck. Then there's heels that make the whole concept of the heel look weak. You know, I understand sometimes you want to play the chicken shit heel. Sometimes there's like a gimmick based around that. It's kind of funny, like, oh, look at him running away all the time. Makes the baby face look strong. But it isn't cool if you're always running away and you're playing a chicken shit all of the time. You know, you never switch it up. You're always backing down, and that's stupid. But no, like, this gimmick and this character and just everything about the amount of pushes that this guy's had and the ample opportunity to prove himself that the company has given him, it just screams out, "What?" Of course I'm talking about a guy that can't get it done on his own. He's TNA. I'm talking about Robbie E. Jersey Shore fucking ripoff character. He's that's staler than shit. The haircut's stupid, and his newest sidekick there, that should have turned on him fucking months ago. Cliche big man with no brains. They failed to launch that off into an undercard feud of its own. Now, granted, Rob Terry, he's not exactly a prize in this business, but, he could have had a chance to at least get over for a little bit. It could have been a solid undercard feud. I'm sure somebody would have said, good, Rob Terry, plant your foot up Robbie E's ass. It's a good pre-show or, opening match to this card for something. But no, he gets himself fucking... Now he's going to forever be known as the stupid matching sweater-wearing accomplice to this, piece of crap in the BFG series for no good reason. And Daniel Parkin and NJ and pretty much anybody else out here will tell you, for no good reason. There's no good reason that he's in the BFG series. And TNA can just seriously not get it through their head that hardly anybody likes this Robbie E guy. I don't know how. He must have been either sucking some good dick, or he must be really high in the back, a really nice person. And if he is, great, all the better for him. But get rid of this fucking gimmick and let him just do something else, because he is terrible. Robbie E is terrible. X Division champ, television champ. Put him in there with Devon, and I still don't give a shit about him. Ugh. Least favorite wrestlers. That was number 5. Number 6, speaking of Rob Terry, this guy, he's trying to wrestle a monster truck tire. Or, he's as big as the fucking Berlin Wall, and he hits about as hard as the Berlin Wall, and he's about just as mobile as the Berlin Wall. He has the charisma of tar. Why is he still employed? Just watch him in the ring once, and you'll see what I mean. I think the Great Khali is probably better than he is. And that brings me to my next target, because we're moving on already. I don't need to say any more. Number 7. There's honestly very few big men that I loathe in wrestling, that I absolutely hate in wrestling. It's hard not to like a guy that's as tall as the Sears Tower, that could just step on you and crush you with brute force. But, how hard is it not to injure people in the ring when you're given a fake clever blow? How hard is it to at least look like you're trying to move in the ring? You take one step forward, one at a time, one foot in front of the other, at least kind of fake like you're going to move. Big Show is 7 feet tall, nearly 450 pounds, and he can beat you up the top rope. Khali, you move around about as fast as, cold molasses, and you wrestle even worse. When he picks somebody up and tries to slam them, he just throws them around, he tosses them. It's there's no support. Necks and backs and fucking joints and whatever, all sorts of shit. Just roll the dice on it. Somebody's gonna break something because your stupid ass slamming them out. Somebody's gonna break a fucking neck. And then earlier this year, screw Del Rio out of his match with Sheamus because he gives him a fucking concussion in a TV match right before the pay-per-view with a chop to the top of the skull. Are you kidding me? This blundering fucking mountain of asshole is a former world champion. And he doesn't know how to not hurt people with a chop to the top of the skull. Give me a break. Just get out of the fucking wrestling business, please. Go away. Number 8. Number 8 is Matt Hardy. I'm wrong. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, the Hardys are one of the best tag teams ever! Okay, yeah, you're right. And in the olden days of the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression days, the Hardys were a phenomenal tag team. Okay, that's the strong suit there. It wrote itself, alright? But once Matt Hardy became a singles competitor, you know, he had so little charisma that I think fucking Jeff Jarrett could have given him a lesson. And that's saying something. You know, when your brother that's high as a kite on pain pills, painting his face green and then fucking dyeing his hair purple, and all that he ever does instead of cut a promo is just jump off the top rope and doing flashy moves, has more charisma than you, who wears fucking shit, you know, weird gothy crap and gets more over than you, even though you're the one out there doing the matches every week, doing the talking, that's a problem. Yeah, I understand you've got some mental difficulties and all that shit, but pal, you know, you made all this money doing this wrestling career. Whatever, man. Like, go get yourself straight. Go to rehab. That's what the rest of us fucking do when we get crazy. You know, I go to my fucking appointments and I go seek my mental help. What's your fucking excuse? Matt Hardy was a terrible singles wrestler. He was not entertaining. His feuds were really lackluster. I remember watching him against Shannon Moore and wanting to puke. Like, Mattitude. Ooh, that's fucking entertaining. What, were you Intercontinental Champion or some shit? Oh, yeah, okay. That was boring. Shannon Moore, another guy that really entertained the fuck out of me. He's not even on this list, but, I mean, I think he only ever got anywhere because he was, like, associated with the Hardys, and please go back to the Independents. You don't belong on my television. Number 9. We're getting toward the end here, because I said I only had 10, so these two are really good. I hope you made it this far. Everyone on top of the wrestling world that did not belong there is John Cena. And, you know, we talk all the time about his great work ethic and, you know, about how he does Make-A-Wish for the kids and about all this extracurricular stuff that he does. Sure, he's a great face of the company. Sure, I get it. You know, he's your guy. Okay. But he has the same fucking match every time. Never takes a break. He's always in the main event. And honestly, at this point, the company's just too afraid to let him lose consistently or try new things with his character. Like, I mean, what has he lost twice in, 3 months? 4 months? The shit with Laurinaitis doesn't count. I don't know. It's just monotonous. It's boring. And you know, he's never improved. He's never improved in the ring ever since they fucking gave him the mountain, the championship belt. He climbed the mountain to the top, you know. He just fucking, like, I don't know. If anything, he's done the opposite. He started doing less. People, you know, they started talking about coining the term the 5 moves of doom. I mean, it's no fucking coincidence. John Cena gets the shit kicked out of him in every match and then finds a way to bounce back with no in-ring psychology. He doesn't even fucking hold up. Yeah, just like, and then bam, 2 moves, 5 moves, 6 moves, it doesn't matter, it's over. I win. Hooray, it's exciting. Number 10. Since now I'm off the Cena kick. And honestly, you know, there's only one guy that can finish off this list right now. Because I am on a roll at this point. And this is a person, honestly, he could kill any angle. Doesn't matter what the angle is. You inject this guy into a feud, you know, the feud could have been going on for 6 months and had, like, epic payoff in sight, and this guy could just squash it. You know, here's a guy, he got where he is completely based on politics, who his friends were. You know, he had a few good matches, but, you know, everybody knows he's fucking the boss's daughter. And, you know, he had a good comfy spot on the top, and he just threw boulders down. Threw him down the top of the hill at anyone that was even thinking about trying to get to the top to challenge him. Anybody that wasn't kissing his ass, they didn't go anywhere. You know, he made sure to squash anybody that had fucking a chance for so many years. And that's a shame. It's a real shame. You know, he managed to make me not give a shit about CM Punk last year. And that was even before the title reign. You know, before it got bleak and boring like it is now. I mean, this is before CM Punk ever won it back from Del Rio at TLC or Survivor Series, whatever the hell that was. Remember CM Punk and Triple H's awesome feud? You know, it had such a great payoff, in fact, that Triple H and his best friend Kevin Nash had a ladder match to end that feud. Where was CM Punk with that, you say? Oh, I don't know. How the fuck does that make sense? It doesn't. It just, he tries to kill heat. Anyone else, you know, it just keeps the spotlight right on his ass, wherever it's comfortable. You know, and Triple H is always trying to book himself into some kind of big-time shit. You know, look at how Undertaker couldn't face anybody in the past 2 fucking years at WrestleMania. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, so given the fact that it was a continuation of the HBK thing that you had 2 years before that, alright, so he was mad that his friend couldn't get it done and he retired him. That's something you have to drag out for 2 more WrestleManias. I mean, if Taker was saying things like Shawn was always the better wrestler and all that shit, why would Triple H even get a shot? Why would Taker deem him worthy? Why wouldn't you save that for a program for Wade Barrett or build somebody else up? Some good new talent. Give them the fucking shot because they desperately need the new stars. Fuck it, dude. Like, honestly, Triple H is a guy that, you know, his quads and his legs are held together with pins and steel and needles and all this shit, right? But he's going to fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Just give me a break. Like, honestly, if Lesnar's so pissed, it should be a Cena and Lesnar rematch. But no, Triple H will go in and he'll kill any and all chance that Lesnar had of making any kind of comeback. You know, Triple H, he goes and he can go in the ring, you know, but it takes him a million years to tell the same story that Hulk Hogan could do in 10 minutes. And honestly, Triple H has had some of the longest fucking promos in the history of the business. They are so long. You know, he's also the one that used to wear a cane mask, and he was humping a fucking mannequin pretending that it was the corpse of Katie Vick, and that horrible, terrible, abortion of a story angle so many years ago. Remember Katie Vick? Yeah, I try not to. But how could you forget? It was that bad. You know, I've never liked Triple H. I've never pretended to. You know, not even for a minute. Like, and you know, want to know? The only reason that DX was ever cool to me was because Rick Rude was in it, and because it had the New Age Outlaws in it. Fuck Triple H. There's my 1 to 10 on my least favorite wrestlers. And just for a quick recap, in case any of you have forgotten already, it was Nails, the Mountie, Mosh and Thrasher, that's a twofold, you got the bonus there. Jeff Jarrett, Robbie E, Robbie T, Great Khali, Matt Hardy, John Cena, and Triple H. Hope you guys enjoyed that little fucking bit there. I know this kind of went on a little longer than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be like a 10-minute video. Fuck it. Whatever. I had fun. I hope you did too. Leave your thoughts. Later.